Hello guys, this is Revolution. On this video we are going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super episode 126. If you have not seen that episode yet, this video will contain a vast array of spoilers. Pause this video, go watch a very lit episode and then come back and we can talk about the events that occurred in Dragon Ball Super episode 126 further. I repeat, this video will contain spoilers, you have been warned. So, I'm starting to sound like a broken record now, but every week I am waxing lyrical about how good the latest Dragon Ball Super episode is, and that's been since episode 121. Ever since the Universe 7 fight against Aniraza, Dragon Ball Super is on a hot streak. I've been thoroughly enjoying Dragon Ball Super in these last 5 episodes, which really frustrates me that Dragon Ball Super is ending, and as of right now, we still don't know if it will be coming back in a serialized form, whether it be under the same name or a new name. So if you've been following my channel, you'll know I made a video a couple of days ago where we discussed the hype behind this fight between Beyond Blue Vegeta and God of Destruction Toppo. This was a titanic battle and it lived up to expectations, or at least Vegeta did. God of Destruction Toppo certainly did not live up to his compatriot Jiren's expectations. And guys, at the end of the episode we got the biggest burn, the biggest put down I think we've seen in Dragon Ball Super so far. I'll get to that later. But as you bore witness to in Dragon Ball Super episode 126, Vegeta has in fact surpassed a God of Destruction. We're going to be talking about the implications of that, what it means for Vegeta's power, what it means going forward in the Dragon Ball Super series, and what this could mean for Vegeta's shell-breaking transformation. And if you did watch that Vegeta vs Toppo hype video I did a few days ago, you'll know that I put forward a theory about the fight between Vegeta and Toppo that in episode 126 was proven right. So just before I get to that and start boasting, basically, if you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell next to it. Therefore, you'll be notified whenever I release new content. I do theories, power scaling, historical videos, news reviews. I will also be covering very soon on this channel Saint Saiyan Knights of the Zodiac, Boruto, and even some videos on Gojira, Godzilla. Do not fear, this channel will always be predominantly a Dragon Ball channel. Even after Super finishes, I have heaps of content to bring your way concerning Dragon Ball, including original Dragon Ball Z, and maybe even some Dragon Ball GT. So make sure you subscribe if you're into these things and keep smashing that like button. That is, like I keep saying, lending me your energy to help my channel expand, grow, get seen by a wider audience. Especially if you enjoy my content, every like does truly help, and I can't thank you enough. So guys, obviously this episode kicks off where episode 125 left off. It's God of Destruction Toppo against Android 17. We know from the last episode that Android 17 is completely outpowered. He's completely relying on his inexhaustible energy and his wit and his strategy. And I've got to say, Android 17 in this tournament has proven to be the best strategist in Universe 7's team. I've got to say, and I keep saying this, and I know I sound like a broken record, but Android 17's return to the Dragon Ball series has been phenomenal. Piccolo's on the sidelines thinking, I don't want no rematch with this guy. And guys, if you saw the Android 17 vs Piccolo fight in the Android Saga, it's one of the best fights you'll see in the whole of Dragon Ball, but Piccolo ain't wanting that rematch anytime soon. Now, this isn't hating on Piccolo. I believe Piccolo is the character most deserving of a power hack that everybody else seems to have got, but right now, he would get completely bodied by Android 17 with no difficulty. Anyway, Android 17 is practically getting bodied by God of Destruction Toppo. He is outwitting Toppo, but at the end of the day, Toppo's raw power is just too much for Android 17's inexhaustible energy and strategy to be an equalizer. Basically, Toppo is winning and Android 17 is literally saved by Frieza. Yes, Frieza has woke up from unconsciousness, but guys, Frieza has lost his mind. He got savaged by God of Destruction Toppo with that Hakai energy in episode 125 so bad, he now believes that planet-busting attacks are going to work on God of Destruction Toppo and Paralysis. This guy thinks he's on planet Namek. He's lost his mind. Anyway, 17 and Frieza, especially how Frieza is now, have no chance against Toppo. They are actually saved by the fact that Jiren throws a massive energy blast at Goku and Vegeta, but it hits them instead. I say saved, they were literally knocked out by it, but it kind of saves them from being eliminated. Anyway, Toppo then joins the fight against Goku and Vegeta. Guys, here Goku and Vegeta are pushing Jiren back. Now, we know that Jiren is taking the fight seriously now, but we find out by the end of the episode it's not Jiren's full power. I think that was a pretty obvious thing. Anyway, they split off and Toppo starts fighting Beyond Blue Vegeta. Basically, this proves that Toppo has surpassed the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 levels. We don't know where Toppo ranks amongst the God of Destruction. I've seen a lot of people saying that he's stronger than Seadra. I personally agree with that. We don't have substantial evidence to clarify that. But considering how Seadra and Ro in the Zen exhibition matches were completely in awe of Goku's Super Saiyan Blue power alone, it goes to tell you that Seadra is probably the weakest God of Destruction. He even lacks the character to be a God of Destruction, as Ro pointed out that even Frieza would make a better God of Destruction than Seadra. Anyway, I don't believe Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20, and maybe even beyond Vegeta, was that far away from Seadra themselves. But guys, even though it wasn't against a full-powered Jiren, even Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue alone was giving Jiren a little bit of trouble, and then he transformed further and got stronger, and since then, even though he's been fighting side by side with Goku, they've been pushing Jiren back. However, Vegeta is literally getting slapped about by God of Destruction Toppo. He uses one of his most powerful moves, the Final Flash, and the Hakai energy dissipates it with relative ease. And then, of course, as Toppo goes to finish Vegeta off, he makes a vital mistake. And now this is where my theory ties into this that I made a couple of days ago. It was just a mini theory. I didn't actually make a full video about it, but I theorized that Toppo's demise in this battle will come to the fact that basically he put aside his principles in order to ascend, whereas Vegeta enforced his principles and broke through his shell, and ultimately that would be Toppo's demise. Vegeta will find a way to make himself stronger through his pride. Now what I like about this is basically when Vegeta was first introduced to us, his weakness was his pride. Somehow he's turned that into his strength and then gone beyond that and broke through the shell. I now believe that Vegeta's shell breaking, limit breaking ability is that when his pride is brought into question, just like it was against Jiren with his Final Flash, just like it was when he realised that his pride was at stake if he didn't keep his promise to Cabba, just as it was here when he thought of Bulma, Trunks and Bulla, his power starts to increase exponentially. Basically, with Goku's shell-breaking transformation, his state of mind transformation, his ability is that he can move without thought. Now that Vegeta's pride involves a collective rather than just self-gain, it may grant a source of power to allow him to keep breaking through his shell. Anyway, as Dragon Ball theorists come under a lot of stick if we get a theory wrong, at least from the unreasonable side that can't understand a theory is a theory. And well, if you're one of those who gives a lot of stick to people who get theories wrong, well, I got this one right. Give credit where it's due. Toppo forsook his pride and it was his downfall against Vegeta, who didn't forsake his pride, which led to Vegeta gaining enough power to overwhelm God of Destruction Toppo. Vegeta has surpassed a version of a God of Destruction. Where he lies in the realm of Gods of Destructions still remains to be seen, but Vegeta has surpassed a God of Destruction. Now last week I did actually theorise that Vegeta's life-risking move could be the final explosion. However, with the spoilers that came out last week, alluding to the fact that Vegeta was in episode 127, I thought, well, that can't be the case because the final explosion would kill Vegeta. In the Buu saga, he sacrificed himself against Buu in order to try and dissipate Buu. It actually failed back then, but it's still an incredibly powerful attack, probably the most powerful attack you can do because it uses all your energy. Now, for those wondering why it didn't have a bigger effect on the Void, well, the final explosion, just like the final flash, really concentrates all your power into an area of effect, so it only damages what is in that area. And as we saw, the catching that the stage is made out of completely broke apart. I mean, even in the Buu saga, Majin Vegeta had far surpassed the first one, Frieza, that blew up planet Vegeta. And that final explosion, which ultimately killed Vegeta, only created a crater on Earth. In episode 125 of Dragon Ball Super, Toppo's Hakai energy pretty much created the equivalent of a Big Bang. If you want to know more about that, visit Prided Wave's video. Once you see Prided Wave's video till the end, you will understand why Toppo's attack was the equivalent to a Big Bang. Anyway, that doesn't matter in this episode because Toppo tries to engulf Vegeta's final explosion with Hakai energy, and it looks like he's succeeding at first, but Vegeta uses all his power here and dissipates the Hakai energy. Vegeta is stronger than a God of Destruction. Once again, not all Gods of Destruction, but as Belmont confirmed last week, that Toppo was no different to a God of Destruction. Now, after taking a pasting, Toppo realises the gravity of this situation. The Hakai that he used on Golden Frieza was pretty much a casual Hakai, and basically it reverted Frieza all the way back to his original form. And like I said, he's pretty much lost his mind. But as I was saying, Toppo understands the gravity of the situation. I'm willing to bet that he's putting his full power Hakai into this move that's engulfing this final explosion. But as said, Vegeta overpowers it and eliminates God of Destruction Toppo from the tournament. Now, Vegeta is completely out of power. He's used his power, but he hasn't died. That's the explanation for this, is that since he's become a Super Saiyan Blue and beyond, that he has the durability to survive his own attack. Now, this is the first time we've got to see Vegeta with his new transformation, or some people even believe it's just a power-up, fight against somebody one-on-one. And obviously he was losing at first, but as I mentioned earlier, he seemed to keep increasing his power, especially when his pride was brought into question. So, as pride seems to be the catalyst for an increase in power exponentially, it kind of reminds you of Super Saiyan Rage, of Trunks. Rage, severe rage, was the catalyst for his new transformation into Super Saiyan Rage, and Super Saiyan Rage was an incredible power boost over what he was previously capable of. Now, by no means am I saying Trunks broke through his shell. We literally know nothing about Super Saiyan Rage other than it's a pretty cool transformation and that it's fueled by severe rage. Berserk is also fueled by severe berserkedness, is that a word? Maybe Vegeta's transformation could be called Super Saiyan Pride, as the catalyst seems to be severe pride. Two names for Vegeta's transformation that are often being bandied around are Ultra Blue and Beyond Blue. Now, any of them could be right. We simply do not fully know what it is yet. It hasn't been given an official name. We might not be given an official name for a very long time. So you have to take it all with a pinch of salt, really. But after this, Vegeta is completely out of energy. He's still alive. Jiren actually congratulates him on achieving and ascending his own power without throwing away his pride. Jiren, the king of the one-liners, then absolutely burns Toppo. He tells him he expected more from Toppo and that he's disappointed. Toppo got completely grilled. He got burned alive. It was hilarious. Anyway, next week we've got an injured Android 17, a powerless Vegeta, and a Goku who's also been reverted back to his base against what we can assume is a full-powered Jiren. And Frieza is either still unconscious from Jiren's attack earlier in the episode, or he's hiding, which would be a clever strategy at this point, actually. But we have next week's episode, and I'm hyped for it. We're getting to see Jiren at full power. He has unleashed his hidden power. Let me know your predictions for next week's episode, episode 127. Let me know what you think on this Super Saiyan Pride idea. If you think it's trash, by all means, let me know it's trash, as long as you're civil. I don't care if you give me criticism, but if you think it's a good idea, let me know as well, or if I can expand on it anyhow. Make sure you hit that like button, lend me your energy, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Until next time, Ad Astra.